Hey guys, what's going on? How's it going? For some reason, my cat won't shut the frig up. I don't know what the hell her problem is, but she's just going off like crazy. Guys, I've been doing something crazy lately and it's working well. Yes, I'm back on the weight loss. There was comments made, oh, you're not dieting. Look at the baden on you. Look at the belly. And you're right, because I haven't been doing what I should have been doing starting January 1st, which I said I was going to do, and that's focusing on the weight loss. But I have been focusing on the weight loss for the past little bit, and not to mention the weightlifting. I actually have a competition going with my coach. See, he kind of fell into the same bandwagon as me, where he got super depressed, and nothing cures depression quite like bad food for your body. Okay? You ever heard the term eat your feelings away? Well, that's a valid term, because let me tell you, when you eat bad food like donuts and Doritos and all that other fun stuff, you feel pretty good about yourself afterwards, but not really. But you do, and not for the right reasons. It's really toxic on the body. It's high calorie, low nutrition food, or low dense food. Like, you could destroy a bag of chips, all right? A bag of Doritos, a big bag, not the little friggin' personal bags, but like a family bag chip. I could level one of those by myself. I know there's people watching this who could easily just clobber a big bag of chips. That's like 1,700 calories. The average person only needs 2,000 calories a day. So if you're having your three hots, breakfast, lunch, and supper, right? Let's say for breakfast you have, I don't know, a bowl of freaking shitty cereal full of sugar with milk. That's about 700 calories, maybe more depending on the cereal you have. I normally just have Fiber One so I can have a really good poop after work, but that's me. I haven't been eating breakfast for the past 2 weeks or lunch. I've just been eating one meal every other day. And then I've been mainly focusing on like fats and protein and trying to stay away from the carbohydrates. But let's say you just have breakfast, there's 700 calories. Then you have lunch. Let's just say you keep it traditional. You have a sandwich, so 2 slices of bread, which is around 220 calories, we'll say, just using Dempster's white bread. Some bologna, depending on how many slices, we'll add an extra 200 calories on there. So there's a 400 calorie sandwich. You throw some ketchup on there, depending on how much ketchup you use. So yeah, you see what I'm going for, right? The typical freaking ketchup bologna sandwich. Once you're all said and done, you're probably sitting around 475. We'll just round it off to 500 calories. So you're already at, we'll say, about 1,100 calories on the day, just with breakfast and lunch. Then you get home for supper and you decide, oh, I'm gonna have some steak. So you bust out like a 300-gram steak and you make some potatoes with it or whatever. That meal alone is probably sitting at 900 calories. So you're already at your 2,000 calorie load, but then it's nighttime, you're watching Netflix and you're like, man, I could really go for some chips. So you get a bag of Doritos or a bag of Lay's or a bag of Ruffles or freaking whatever, Miss Vicky's, I don't care. You get a bag of chips, a big bag of chips, and you destroy that. You're up to 3,700 calories. Your body only needs 2,000 calories a day. If you have a job like mine where you sit at a desk for 8 hours a day, and like you got to be at work for 8, so you wake up at 6:30, shower, get ready, go to work. That's what I used to do. That's what I did for the past, since Oreo passed away. I was just too depressed to friggin' care that I just let everything go. 3,700 calories in a day when you burn in a basic, like with the weightlifting in the morning and the cardio in the morning, I can easily burn 3,000 calories a day. If I'm sedentary, I'm not doing anything like I did for the past pretty much half a year, I'm burning about 2,400 calories a day, 2,500 tops. So 3,700 calories, that's a surplus of 1,100 calories that I was consuming basically, because I was eating breakfast, I was eating lunch, I was eating supper, and then I'd have a snack of some fashion at night watching YouTube or whatever. It adds up over time. Your body gets a surplus. It's got to start somewhere, stores it as fat. Now what I'm doing is one meal every other day, and it's mainly meat and fiber so that I can pass the meat once I need to. Because if you just strictly eat carnivore diet, let me tell you, sometimes those poops become impossible to push out. You need a little assistance. You need a little assistance, if you know what I mean. Sometimes a lot of assistance. So this morning when I weighed in, I was 242. Now, keep in mind, I was also friggin' buck-ass, well, I wasn't buck-ass naked, I was in boxer shorts. Right now, I'm wearing my pajama pants. I got my t-shirt on, I got a microphone, and I'm holding this camera, which I have no idea how much it weighs. But let's see what the scale says right now. Now, keep in mind, not this Monday that passed, but the Monday prior, I weighed in at 253 pounds. I was 242 this morning in just my underwear, and that's what I use for a, so it's 244.8. So my control is the weigh scale always stays there. I never move it. I never touch it. It stays there. I usually don't weigh myself in clothing, and I don't weigh myself more than once a day because there's things that come into play. Like I came home and I started drinking water. I haven't gone pee yet. For every liter of water you drink is 1 pound of weight you put on. 1 liter of water is 1 pound in weight. So if, like after martial arts, I don't drink while I'm there. I just go. It's only an hour. I can do without water for an hour. I come home and I end up going through that 52-ounce Bubba keg pretty dang fast. And then refill it, and I might go halfway through it again just to rehydrate. That's going to put on weight because the water's sitting inside of you until it gets filtered and you pee it out. It's going to sit inside of you. So this is the other reason why I say you can't go by the scale. The scale is a nice measurement to see if you're on the right track. But usually you'll plateau, you'll hit a number and it'll kind of stay there, and then you'll get discouraged. Don't get discouraged because stuff's still happening in your body. Your body's still transforming. It's still changing its ways. You're still burning fat. It's just, you're not, like your body's basically reconfiguring itself, if you will. So you're not, like, especially if you're doing like me, like I mainly weight lift. I come downstairs, like I wake up in the morning at 4 a.m. and then I wake myself up by having like coffee and stuff to like get my body going. Then I come downstairs at 5 a.m. I work the punching bag for a half an hour. I run a punching drill on the bag for half an hour to get the cardio going. I get warmed up really good by doing that. And then I'll hit the weights and target a random muscle group. Whatever I targeted the day prior, I don't touch. So I'll target a muscle group, destroy it. I'll go from 5:30 to 6:45, have a shower. By the time I get out of the shower, it's 6:55, 7. Go back upstairs, get dressed, get ready, fire up the truck, head off to work from 8 to 4. At work, I pace around a lot, so I'm getting more steps in, still active. I try not to sit too much because that was starting to hurt me. Because I was sitting all the time, my hips were starting to get bad and like stiff. And I noticed it in martial arts a couple times, like I got thrown to the ground. And then getting back up was kind of like, holy crap, why is this such a chore? It was so easy last year. Well, last year I didn't have this extra 50 pounds on my body trying to keep me going, you know? Slowing me down. So I'm on the right path. I'm pretty sure I can do some damage and get down to a respectable weight by my birthday, which is mid-March, and it's also Warriors weekend at the Ramada. So I'm hoping to be there to do some tomahawk stuff. And I don't know. I don't even know what to expect by this. Apparently there's going to be a bunch of different martial artist teachers there, like senseis and shit. And they're going to be putting on demos, and I don't know if you're allowed to partake or if you're allowed to whatever, but there's going to be a bunch of that there. There might be some sparring. I have no freaking idea. But I want to be at a good weight, good mobility, ready to rock, get in there, get her done. Because birthday weekend, nothing more that I'd rather do with my birthday than fight club stuff. Because that shit's just fun. That shit's just fun. So yeah, every night this week, I've been going to bed at around 8:39, up at 4 o'clock in the morning, just getting to work, you know, just getting to work, getting myself back on that health kick. I'm done being depressed. I'm done being upset. I got to get going. I got to get this ball rolling, you know. Winter sucks. I hate it. We don't get enough sunlight. I'm supplementing with vitamin D. Actually, you know, it's been really, really, really freaking good. When I got that subscription for Athletic Greens, I still got a bunch left too, and I've been hitting this too. That's the reason why I canceled the subscription, is I wasn't using it. I still have, what? Was that empty finally? Okay, so I still got a full box because the bottom box, yeah, the bottom box is empty. It's just kind of a placeholder now. But I still got a full box of AG1 plus my 5 travelers. So I was like, I'm not going to keep subscribing and getting more if I'm not using it. So cancel it, save myself the money. But I might just switch up to a different local sourced product, mainly because, as you guys know, with these, like, the tariffs are off as of, like, Trump called off the tariffs, saying that as long as we fix our border, he won't put them on. But who's not to say that he starts throwing around threats again in the near future with other bullshit? The guy seems to be acting like a real bully. I was not anticipating this from him, to be this kind of a bully where he's like pushing people around and telling Gaza that he's going to go in there and turn it into a resort, and just straight up being a complete dickhead. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting him to do good, because honestly, watching your guys' debates in the US, listening to Kamala just spin her wheels on words, and then Trump had some pretty good ideas, but then he gets into office and like he's power tripping hard to the point where it's like, whoa, bro, you need to calm down. You've only been in office for like not even a month, and you've already pissed off the entire planet. Like, come on, don't be like that. Pull up. But anyway, with my depression, what I've been taking is this stuff here from Athletic Greens. This came with the kit when I subscribed, and you just put some underneath your tongue, let it absorb in, and it's D3. It's like sitting in the sunlight. It's a dropper. So, but because we're now on this Buy Canadian, Support Canadian kick up here, that's what I plan on doing now. I heard that they pulled all the Kentucky bourbon off the shelf. They probably put it back on the shelf now because of the tariffs are not happening. As of yet, they're kind of stalling. Not stalling, but they're on pause as long as we get our border fixed, which, you know, I'm all for that. I'm all for fixing the border. Will it solve the fentanyl problem in the US? Hard no. Hard no. Statistics show that the fentanyl coming into the US, yes, there is some slipping through the border in Canada and Mexico, but a lot of it is coming in from Americans who are bringing it in with them when they go abroad, and it's going to slow it down. It's going to lower the numbers, but it's still going to be there. Even with Canada strengthening its borders and the US strengthening their borders and Mexico strengthening their borders, there's still going to be fentanyl coming in, and there's still going to be people dying from it. There's nothing we can do. Unless they heighten airport security, boat security, every single freaking border. The moment you enter the country, they do a complete search and scan on every individual. Remember that TSA thing you guys had in the US? They would have to implement something crazy like that, where the amount of people they would have to hire would be insane, and it would really, really back things up at every airport, every boat port, every freaking way you can get into a country. All the shipping lanes would have to be scanned completely the moment they come in to even consider stopping the bringing in of fentanyl. And what's that going to do? Well, that's going to make the drug dealers even more inventive. They're just going to be like, okay, well, we can't get this. What can we manufacture? You know, what can we manufacture? What can I go to a pharmacy and get for medication that I can blend together to make something similar? Because that's what always happens. There ain't no way to prevent it. So, but the reason why I am 1000% all for closing up the borders is because if anybody's been following Canadian news, you may have heard that we have one frig of a gun ban going on up here in Canada. That's right, one frig of a gun ban. You know, started off where they banned all the Armalite rifles and Rugers that looked scary. It was like, if a rifle looked like something that should be in the military, it was pulled off the shelves, banned. If you owned one, you weren't allowed to bring it to the range to shoot it. You weren't allowed to let it leave your house. It literally was treated like a replica. You just weren't allowed to ever touch it. You, however, could do the buyback program through the government and sell it to them, obviously not what you paid for it. They were collecting the guns to send to the Ukraine so that they had more firearms over there to fight in their war. The latest gun ban actually put Ruger 1022 on the map and a bunch of bunny guns. Like a bunch of friggin' squirrel rifles. And Trudeau in his infinite wisdom is like, and we're gonna send these to the Ukraine. Can you imagine the poor Ukrainian soldier who has to go face Russia with a freaking squirrel gun? What are they gonna do? Like, honestly, it's so dumb. It's gonna get to the point, like, and they're starting to ban like high caliber hunting rifles. So moose season's pretty much shot now. Deer season's pretty much shot now. What are we gonna do? Hunt with spears, bows, and slingshots? Because that's what it's gonna come down to. Oh wait, there's more. I'm willing to bet Trudeau's gonna take away crossbows next. He's gonna take away archery next. Why? Because it's a ranged weapon and it can be used in school shootings and whatever bullshit he decides to cock up in front of a microphone on CTV. Like, give your balls a tug, tit fucker, and figure it out. If the borders go up, the black market guns will hopefully stop coming into Canada, because it's not the legal citizens with their legal firearms causing this problem. All the gun violence in Canada is done by criminals who acquire pistols and fully automatics through other means other than going to Epps Gun Shop in Orillia and buying an Uzi, because you can't go to Epps Gun Shop and buy an Uzi. Canadians can't own fully automatics. You can own a pistol, but if you want to go to Epps and buy, say, a Beretta 9mm or a 1911 45 ACP, you have to present your restricted PAL, and then they do a check on you, and then they will sell you the pistol, at which point it is registered, and you have to basically transport it back by calling the cops and saying, I just purchased this, it's currently in a box, there's a trigger lock on it, the box is locked, I have it stored in my trunk, it's well hidden, I'm heading back from Orillia to North Bay, I'll call when I'm there and let you know when the firearm is secure. And then you get home and you secure the firearm and you let them know. That way there they have a record that this pistol belongs to you, it's registered in your name, and it is currently secured. So they know where it is. Welcome to Canada. It's not as free as in the US. I don't know how the pistol rules work down there. I don't know if you can just walk into a gun shop, present your age of majority card, like your license or whatever you guys have if you don't have a license, your ID, I guess. They do a background check on you to make sure you're not cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and then they'll just sell you a Beretta. I don't know how it works down there. Never been, never looked into it, didn't really care. I live in Canada, right? So the fight our gun associations always had, or firearm associations always had with the government, is it's not the law-abiding licensed citizens that are the problem. But the government insists that we are, and therefore pull our firearms. Like when I got my unrestricted PAL, which allows you to buy rifles and shotguns, I was also smart and took the hunter safety course. Reason being is, oh no, this is not a rifle for target shooting. This is a food gathering device for hunting. This is my cultural right to go hunting during the season. That's why I have these firearms, you know? Not to go up to the sand pits and shoot propane tanks with like 223 or 5.56. No. I want to go into the woods wearing my bright orange bullshit non-camo gear so other hunters can see me clear, but deer are colorblind so they can't. And I want to drop me a buck so I can put its head on a freaking placard and stick it to my wall to be the ultimate redneck dude, right? I've never done that yet. I've only ever dropped a doe. Big doe. It was pretty good, but still, it would be kind of cool to get back into it. But right now, everything's so frigged up in the world. It's just so annoying. So freaking annoying. But what can you do, right? Just got to go with it. I mentioned before this book that I read called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Frick. Great book. It teaches you how to handle situations that we're going through today with the way the government's acting, with the way the world is changing, with these, like, bottom line is if you physically can't do anything to alter it, don't concern yourself with it. Concern yourself with what you can do. The government is, like, if these tariffs go through, what can I do? Well, I can stop buying American products. I can start buying just Canadian products. No trips to the US because our dollar is going to tank, and I don't need to give my hard-earned cash to another country's economy, especially, like, why would I want to? What I can do to benefit myself is when I see digital currency like Bitcoin and that dip, buy into it, knowing that if things turn around, she's going to skyrocket, and then I can profit off the nonsense, stuff like that, you know? I did the upgrade on the Acer, still haven't bought a video card, don't plan on buying a video card anytime soon. The latest driver updates for the NVIDIA card actually made that 4060 pretty dope. It actually kind of gave it a little bit more jam, not to mention the fact that I can supply more power to it and it's running a lot nicer. So that's also pretty freaking cool. I do say so myself. Am I worried about my job? Not really. Right now as it stands, like if I was still on contract, I'd be worried, but I'm full-time in the union. I'm good. I'm good. If it was a year ago when I wasn't and I was on a fixed term contract, then I would be a little nervous that basically to cut company spending to basically save with all these tariffs coming in and all that they would basically just be like, we're not renewing your contract once it's over. Sorry about that. Hopefully you get another job. You know, wish we could help you out, but like we're dicked. So I'm not too worried about my job. I should be okay there. Otherwise they wouldn't have given me another raise. So that's kind of cool. I am a little concerned with other things. So things are getting a little crazy out there, and that's my only real concern. Is I thought World War III was going to start because of this Ukraine-Russia bullshit, you know, and the fact that all the other countries, Canada, the US, the UK, all the members of freaking NATO have been like giving Ukraine all these pretty explosive fancy toys to play with to lob at Russia. Don't you think that is just wrong? Like, I get it, Ukraine's the little guy, big Russia's picking on him. But to me, by having that interference from the other people, from the other groups, the NATO groups, that's kind of like they want to attack Russia, but they don't. So they're just using Zelensky or whatever his name is. I can't remember his freaking name because I don't follow too much of that nonsense. That's like giving Zelensky, treating him like your puppet. Like, send him in to do the biddings. We'll just give you the tools to take down the house. You go swing them. Because all they really had was they had their military and their drones and stuff, but they didn't have these like surface to air defense missiles that Canada supplied them with. They didn't have all the explosives that the US supplied them with, along with the GPS coordinates, like how to lock them on the targets deep in freaking Russia. They didn't have all that, and that was supplied to them. They didn't have those storm missiles or whatever the frig they were called from the UK, which they ended up using for a couple attacks. The F-16 fighter jets that Canada supplied them with, along with training from our military on how to fly them properly. Like, I'm not sure what else the US supplied. Probably a bunch of firearms, probably a bunch of cash to buy stuff. Canada supplied a bunch of cash to buy stuff. UK supplied a bunch of junk. Germany supplied a bunch of junk. Like, all these NATO countries are literally just filling his toy box with toys that he can use to play with Russia. And it's like, it doesn't sit well with me. It's like, I don't want to see anybody die. I believe the world should unite. We shouldn't be racist anymore. We shouldn't have this conflict between our nations. If we all teamed up and worked together, we would have friggin' Star Trek level technology. We wouldn't have famine, because this friggin' air fryer right here, that would be a food replicator. I could just walk up and be like, pizza, high protein, and it would fart out a pizza high protein in 10 seconds instead of, you know, having to actually go the old fashioned way and build a pizza and have it fart out a pizza. We would have some awesome technology. We'd have some amazing research, cross global collaborations on developing infrastructure and technologies that would put us into a serious, awesome era. But instead, we waste our resources on researching new ways to kill each other. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. We need to pull up. We need to regroup. We need to get along. We're all human. Doesn't matter what color your skin is, what your hair looks like, how you pee, sit down, stand up, friggin' upside down like Shorzy. It doesn't freaking matter. What matters is we're all human. We need to get along. We need to fix this planet. We need to get back on track. We need to work together, and we need to give her, because, hate to say it, galaxy's huge. We're not the only intelligent species out there. If any of them ever find us, they're going to realize we're a pain in the arse. They're probably just going to demo this planet and move on, you know? It's like driving by a dangerous neighborhood. What do? You roll up the windows and lock the freaking doors, because you know something might go down and you really don't want it to. But anyway, you guys, that's my outtake on what's going on in the world. Nothing I can do to change it. I'm just an IT technician who talks to a camera every once in a while. So all I can really do is worry about my life, keep saving cash to you know, in case shit hits the fan, I got something to fall back on and go from there, right? Just play it day by day and figure shit out. Good thing I don't drink anymore. I'm gonna have to go in, if those tariffs do come in and they do ban all American products, I'm gonna have to go to the liquor store, maybe. I don't know if I can film it now. I'll film with the cell phone and just show what the shelves look like. Because we don't just get liquor from the US. The LCBO imports from all over the world. We get liquor from like Europe and Germany and friggin' Poland and all that stuff. So we get, it's not just one location giving us booze. We get it from a lot of locations. My biggest concern is like for the beer section, it's kind of weird. Coors in Canada is canned and bottled at the Labatt's, or is it Molson? Molson or Labatt's factory. Now I know Coors is an American brand. I know Busch is an American brand. I know Michelob is an American brand. I can't think of other American brands at this moment. I know Labatt's is Canadian. Molson Canadian is obviously Canadian. What's that shit that I used to drink? Sleeman is Canadian. Sleeman 2.0. That stuff's Canadian. That's about all I can really think of. And then we have our local microbreweries that make beer that tastes like drugs, but it's all right. Literally, it tastes how weed smells. It's freaking hoppy as all hell. But anyway, guys, if those tariffs do come into play, I may make a video of Skivens goes to the LCBO to take a look at what's missing, and that could be a fun video, or I might just get kicked out because you can't film in there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If I get kicked out and banned from the LCBO, will that hurt me? No, it will not. Why? Because I don't consume alcohol. I do every once in a while. I shouldn't say that. I do every once in a while, but not as much as I used to. Like, really, I drank on New Year's, all right? Like, whatever, who doesn't? And then I drank at the block party. And I did have that mead in November. But it's not like I'm going out every weekend and buying a friggin' 18-pack of Pilsners and getting right boofy blitzed, because I have a mission to lose weight, feel great, and get back down to where I was. And if I can do it by, I want to do it by March 15th, but to be honest, I want to be back down to where I was by the time I go down to visit Blow for in the May long weekend. I'd be happy with that. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. People said they wanted long videos. You're probably getting one today. And until next time, live it to win it. Peace the frig out. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.